it's Justina from Magpie and Mockingbird, and I have a project share. So I made a junk journal out of envelopes, plain cardstock, and a Michael's Recollections paper pad that I wanted to share with you. Now, the whole base of this is completely taken from Coco and Fluff. She has a really great tutorial on YouTube that I will link. I changed some things inside, but the whole concept was her really great video. So let's dive in. So my journal has a simple ribbon binding, and then this first page is actually an envelope with a little sheet to journal on and a tab. And I went through, I haven't done this in a long time, but I distress inked everything, absolutely everything. Okay, so then this front page has a side pocket with 2 tags, and my thought was that this was a journal, so I left white space on everything so there's an opportunity to journal. On this page, you take the tab and lift this up, and there's a spot to journal here, and then a spot to journal here. And then that turns, and there is another side pocket with writing space. And then I sewed in some coffee dyed paper. Now it's 3 sheets folded in half, and then look, my embroidery floss, isn't that pretty? So I stitched this in. My original plan was to stitch it right into this, but I had put my spine on first, which I actually had never intended to have this spine, and then my holes, like the first one came out where it needed to come out, and my next one came out up here. So this is like my prototype, but when I do this again, I will definitely be sure that I sew this into the book, because what I did was I sewed it into a scrapbook paper and kind of like shoved it down in, and that's affected the spine. And so anyways, I will do the steps in the right order next time. Another journaling card on this page, and then this one is just like before. It lifts for that writing spot. This is just a simple belly band, and I just layered some pictures for, looks like my thumbprint, for writing. And then this one is also a pocket, and I have, this is just like a basic journaling card, and then this one opens, almost like glued it shut. This one opens, and there's white space, just like that. All right, and then moving on, this pocket with this bookmark, I love this. This just happened to be a leftover scrap that I made into this, but just, it's my favorite one. And then this page opens, and I left this blank for journaling, and then another pocket that holds a journaling card here. This also has a pocket, more journaling space in there. And then this one flips open, and I have the tags that I made and inked with these side triangle pockets. And then this is that paper that's meant to be like border strips. So I use that as another pocket. And then this, did I? No. Okay, so then this one is a side pocket. They only had 6x6 cut aparts. They were huge. So I was able to trim this down to fit in a pocket, but it was really hard to get to fit. And then here's another spot with coffee dye paper. And again, so I had to sew it into the paper and then glue the paper down. I would not do that next time. I would do this correctly. Here's another one of those 6x6, and I cut it down and it was still too big. So I just have it folded in half like a note card. All right, and then this next page is a gatefold. So let me see if I can get this whole thing to fit. Isn't this pretty with the water? And then it opens like this, and then I have the candle paper here, and then candle pockets here, and these are just tags. These have the decorative paper clips, and then I made a little tag tie out of ribbon. My original intent was to do the tulle, but this was an extra step of challenging because I was kind of restricted to my recliner, and my craft supplies were whatever my kids could bring me, and I could reach from the recliner. So some things are not how I probably would have done them. They are the best I could do with what I had. And then the back is just that candle image again, just like the front. And then, like I said, this was not what I intended for the spine. Honestly, for the spine, what I thought I would do was just a piece of washi along here. That never works out for me. I don't know what I do wrong with washi, but it cracks and crinkles and whatever. So I just did this piece of craft paper that I inked, and then I scored it to like force the size of the spine, which you can see this is pretty chunky for that. But then, like I said, I poked holes, so then I covered it with this little bit of washi tape that I had. All right, guys. So like I said, this is my prototype. So my plan is to make more. So I will hopefully talk to you soon.